All right, since we're doing some egg-bound animals, sometimes we have animals that when they ovulate, they don't actually have fertile eggs. And sometimes what happens is things get stuck. And one of the components, or one of the things that probably causes snakes to lay their eggs, is the egg is calling for more oxygen than the animal system can handle. And that demand on oxygen can cause or trigger muscle contractions. So I have a snake like this that I can definitely tell is having a fair bit of discomfort, and she hasn't been passing her eggs, and she's overdue. So we've had a couple eggs, and Rob was noting that she still had stuff in her. So what I'm going to do, since the eggs are all pushed down here, you can see lumpiness, and that's right at the vent. So first thing I want to do is, if I can put my finger up her cloaca, and I can feel for the surface of an egg. And if I feel the surface of an egg, that means that there's some way I might be able to express that egg and get it out. But if I don't put my finger up there, and if I cannot make contact with the surface of the egg, if I start pushing, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull her oviduct out there. I might tear it, I could cause hemorrhaging, or I could cause a lot of problems. So right now, we're just going to kind of go in here, and I'm going to see what's going on. So I use Vaseline. And I don't want to, we're using a bag. This is, so we're kind of controlling the bitey part. So right off the bat, I can touch the egg. But what I'm noticing is the egg is not smooth. The egg is, feels like the egg's possibly rotting, which means that the animal is trying to absorb this egg. What happens is, sometimes the surface of the egg is so gnarly, it starts to adhere to the lining of the oviduct. So I can feel a surface of the egg that I really don't like the way it feels. So what I'm going to do is I'm putting my finger in here, I'm moving around the egg, and I'm trying to massage around it, because really what we want to do, this egg is so granulated, and I can just tell that this egg is bad. So I'm going to get my finger past the egg. I can smell something's not right too. So what's happening is these eggs are basically causing this animal to tox out. So we have the material of the egg, which is now trapped inside her, so get ready. Can you see that? And what we don't want to get is a lot of blood. So that, there's a little bit of blood, and I expect some of that if blood starts pouring out. So if I mismanage what I'm doing right now, and I'm really stupid, I can basically cause this animal a situation where I can smell it. I can smell this right here. So she's been struggling with this for a while. So now I'm feeling another egg. This egg doesn't feel as bad. So that was the one that basically, this egg right here was probably all the problem. Still not too much blood. There is going to be a little bit of blood because she has been forcing. And at this point, we got to get all these eggs out of here. And we're going to need to basically get her into a clean environment where we're going to start soaking her. We're also going to put her on antibiotics, because the smell that I'm getting out of her, this is messy business, you know, breeding and keeping snakes. Everything can always go wrong. When you have more animals, sometimes things go wrong. You can do everything right and it still goes wrong. So it's just, it's Murphy's Law. So now, I'm trying to make sure you want to get any kind of material out of here too. So what I'm feeling right now, I feel another egg, but I do not feel the surface of the egg. If I'm stupid and I don't practice sensible techniques here, I can really take not a great situation and make it worse. So right now I'm pulling out some urates and stuff. So the oviduct is a separate system than the gastrointestinal system. So I'm literally putting my finger inside her cloaca, but I'm looking for the opening of the oviduct. I'm not trying to get up into her GI tract. The GI tract flora is actually, you don't want the GI tract flora up into the oviducts. That's actually E. coli and stuff like that, and that's not going to be good. One thing I can definitely do with this animal is putting her in a water solution and changing it, because we do have some blood, and the blood was not due to me. This was already going on inside. So, because she's really been trying to express these eggs. And at this point, without pushing too much, I might stop doing what I'm doing and I might put her into a soaking situation. All right, we're going to continue with this. So we've basically expressed out 3 ovum. So these are unfertilized eggs that this animal's been trying to reabsorb. And we have multiple different problems going on. So we had 3 eggs, and one of them was adhering to the lining of her oviduct. So we've kind of gotten rid of that. The animal's under some distress, so we got her in a pillowcase. And what we're going to do now is, she's got a lot of urates and stuff in her cloaca. So I want to kind of clean her up. So I'm using a dilute solution of water and chlorhexidine. And basically all we're doing is getting rid of, there's a lot of material here. I want to kind of flush it out because we have some blood. And as she's been trying to deal with the eggs, she has created a lot of pressure. It's not me that's causing any of the bleeding. But right now, we want to clean her up a little bit. And so I've kind of hit a little bit of a roadblock. And the roadblock is I can feel an egg. And eggs generally go down like a stocking. And they go in order. So if everything's perfect, you get one out and then another one, so they're all in a queue. But occasionally, as the animal is pushing to move the eggs down her body when she's in the normal active egg laying, sometimes an egg can go ahead of another one. And when that happens, everything gets twisted and they go out of order, and then we start having a different kind of problem. Since this animal it's otherwise a very healthy animal, I just don't want to create any health problems. So I'm going to just err on the side of caution. I'm going to need a little bit more of her tail over here. She's not liking this. She may be prone to a fit. So this egg that I'm feeling feels more normal size. But once again, what I was saying is I'm sticking my finger up here, trying to get inside the opening of the oviduct so I can feel the egg. If I force this situation and start pushing, I can easily cause her to kick out her part of her oviduct, and then we have a whole new set of problems. There is some material in here. I want to get that out. I'm still going to look around for the opening of her oviduct. So I'm just moving around where I can feel flesh, and I'm looking to feel the calcification. This is actually a normal sized egg right here. This next one. It's not pretty, like I said, but this is sometimes what you have to deal with. So sometimes, instead of forcing an issue, we want to pause. We've already gotten 3 really clearly rotting eggs out of her, which is actually going to help her a lot because she no longer has to deal with reabsorbing those. I don't really have much blood going on right here. And this might sometimes be a really good safe time to take her and kind of put her in some water and let her soak, at least overnight, because we are ultimately going to put her on antibiotics. You never want to basically not rectify an animal that has any kind of dehydration issues, especially if I'm using an aminoglide. So if I'm going to use amikacin or gentamicin to help deal with any potential bacterial infections, I'd need to make sure that her kidneys are working well, which means the animal needs to be well hydrated. So I've been moving my finger around. I'm not feeling any of the egg, and we definitely have more eggs in this. So sometimes stopping at this point where I've not really caused a lot of trauma, she's not actively bleeding now, and I think we pretty much kind of got her in a situation where if I put her in a bin of water and I give her a day, I want to see what happens. And then the next step is we're going to refer to my other egg bound video where I'm actually going to start draining the contents of this egg. But I've kind of put this animal through a lot. I think I really got rid of 3 rotting eggs. These eggs, this egg from what I can feel does not feel nearly as nasty as the other one. and that's a full-size egg. There's another full-size egg right behind her. So I think we're going to reevaluate this in at least another 15, 20 hours. So I think this is the safe place to stop. So now, keeping her clean, keeping her warm, keeping stress down and stuff like that, and using our brain, because this is where you easily can make a mistake. If I cause any tearing, I'll cause things to hemorrhage. The oviduct, the sheath that wraps around the egg, is clustered with all sorts of blood vessels. So we're going to stop here. We'll get back to this and show you further results.